I want to talk to you for a few minutes about this essay assignment. This is a high stakes required assignment for the class, and the topic is your digital identity. So, in terms of how to approach the topic, you want to be thinking about your use of especially social media to create or maintain a digital identity. Does your social media image, does that project the real you? If not, what are the differences? Do you create posts that present an ideal image of your life? How does your use of digital media influence beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors? Now, the essay should be structured thus. You will have 3 or more pages total, and you're going to do 2 things in this order. First, you will use a source. You will summarize one of the essays that you have read on the topic. Choose an idea that you find a connection to. This is most likely going to be an idea or a statement, a claim that you agree with or that you relate to. It is possible to disagree. You might want to message me if that is the approach you're going to take. In other words, there may be something which the essay claims to be the case or true, and it is not the case for you. If you want to write about that, that is an option, but you'll want to chat with me about that. Then, after you summarize one of the essays and present to the reader a summary of that claim, you're going to respond to that claim. Respond to the source with clear and detailed reasoning. You'll present here a clear connection to the idea, describing in a detailed way why you agree with or relate to that. Now, here, this is an example of an idea, how this might work. In one of the essays that you will have read, according to a student interviewed by the International Center for Media and the Public Agenda, quote, "People have become unable to shed their media skin," end quote. And this is from Students Addicted. This is an in-text citation, or what's called a parenthetical reference, okay, which is a shortened, abbreviated version of the title. Okay, so people have become unable to shed their media skin. What you would do is you would present that in a complete way, and then how would you think about or respond to that? Well, some questions that might be worth considering. What do you think about that? Is that a truth for you or not? Is it partly true? And if so, in what ways is it true? And in what ways is it not accurate? And perhaps most interesting, what does it mean to you if you, maybe by reading this and by thinking, have become aware that maybe you have something called a media skin? What does that mean? A skin is something, it's visible to the world. It also protects our organs, right? Your inner life. Does the use of media function in any of those ways for you? So presenting something visible to the world, but maybe protecting an inner life. Interesting. Okay, now what I want to tell you next is that the way I've designed this assignment is to give you space to do some writing on the page. You have 2 options here with this assignment sheet. One of the options you have with the assignment is to print it out and to handwrite that, or it can also be that you decide you want to copy and paste this into a document for yourself and type in your ideas, handwriting might be the simplest. So consider if that's something, well, I wouldn't say consider if that's something, I'd say take it seriously that this is the way I've designed. So first thing you would do is you're going to review what you've read and look at your annotations. Find a passage that makes you think about your own situation, your concerns, your habits in relation to digital media. Most likely, this is going to be something you can agree with or something you relate to. So take a time to write down that passage here. Remember to include the author, title of the essay, and then any page numbers. So if you're going to summarize it, you still want to put the page numbers for the part that you're summarizing. You can copy it word for word. Be sure to use quotation marks if you copy word for word here. Okay. So after you've done that, and that could take you, frankly, you know what? Remember how in the video we watched, what is most underestimated in essay writing is the time that we need to spend planning. So the time that you take to really find that passage that you can relate to. Give yourself an hour to do that. Okay? Review everything you've read. You can scan. Then respond to the passage that you selected with your own situation, your habits. In this section, you want to provide specifics about what that selected passage means to you. How do you see what the author says at work in your life? Or it could be at work in the lives of those close to you. As long as this is direct observation and you're not just saying, oh, teenagers do this, Americans do that. As long as it's direct observation, that's valid. Being, again, specific to your life and your experience. And read my caution here. Students often want to write about people, about society. When you get that general, you end up saying things that are easily proven false. So you don't want to fall into that trap. Now, a strategy for drafting the essay is to write several body paragraphs first, begin with the summary, and then continue by responding to that. Okay. Look again at the nuts and bolts. And I'm giving you some coaching here. I want you to read carefully about using detailed and concrete examples. So take a look at the difference between general or vague statements and detailed and concrete ones. That makes your writing rich. Organization. So you will have done some work on paragraph structure by the time you turn in your final draft. So you will want to put all of that to work for you. I want to draw your attention to one last thing. Note, the issue of digital identity is very different from the issue of addiction. All right. You cannot, I've not assigned you to write an essay about whether you are or are not addicted to social media. There are good reasons why I do not assign this. And this is also actually going to apply in further work that you do. For example, if you were to ask a question, is Facebook, addictive? Well, there are two answers to that. Yes, it is, and no, it's not. And so it just becomes the kind of essay topic that can become very easily discredited if you try to build a case that Facebook is addictive. It's entirely too easy for someone else to build the exact opposite point. You want to speak about identity. How does your use of social media, digital platforms, affect your understanding of identity? If you have minimal or almost non-existent use of social media, you will probably want to consult with me about how to explore the topic. There are definitely options for you. Also, if you approach this topic and you really are stumped, have no idea how to begin to describe, one very helpful strategy is to do at least one, if not more, days where you do not engage in any use of social media. That will absolutely help you to see and understand some things about how you use social media. So try that. If you're feeling very much like you do not know where to begin with the topic, try doing some sort of a media cleanse or media fast. And there is a rubric for the assignment, which is going to follow. It'll be posted on Canvas right after the posting of the actual assignment. All right, good luck.